Welcome back to second part of this week's episode of Knock of the Perch, a Manchester United podcast. In this part, we preview the game against West Ham. Before we get into the episode, a quick request to all of you. If you're listening to this on a podcast streaming platform, do rate our podcast. It will be very helpful for us. If you're listening to this on YouTube, do like, share, and comment. It will help us grow further. Okay, now getting into the episode, United are going away to West Ham. They are sitting 15th in the table. We are sitting 12th in the table. A proper lower mid-team table clash to determine who can fight to get into the top half of the table. What do you make of this match?
Premier League form has been poor. We talked about inconsistency. This is Eric Ten Hag's chance to correct that. We have a good win against Brentford, and this, to me, is the most winnable fixture you can have at this point of time. This is a easy game to go into. It's a team which has lost a lot of confidence, who also don't know their place in the Premier League. Another manager who is under a lot of pressure after having just 4 wins in the first 10 games of his tenure. Lopetegui came into Premier League with a great reputation. He did brilliantly at Wolves. He has a great reputation in Spain for being a defensive masterclass. He does depend a lot on defensive solidity, and then he moves on to the later stages of the revolution in football. He did ask for a lot of signings, which he got in this. So I was very bullish on West Ham doing well this season with the kind of signing they made. They overhauled their defensive lineup, they overhauled their attacking lineup, but it hasn't come to fruition. They're still taking some time. It is not very unlike us that with United too, I feel we are right in the middle of a rebuild right now. That's how our game suggests. Every game we get something different out of United. So yeah, West Ham are also an unpredictable team, even though they have a lot of good players in the attacking lineup. Two good things which we have going on for us in this game would be the absence of Kudus. Kudus is unavailable for this game. He got a red card in the last game against Tottenham. So the next 3 games he is unavailable. And the second big thing is their attacking player, Lucas Paqueta, who they rely on for most of their creative problems, is not in form at all. He has been, so it's a double-edged sword. They do depend on him for complete creativity. He has been in a lack of form since the last 4 or 5 games. So yeah, I mean, it's 3 points for the taking, and nothing less than a win should do so.
Yeah, in the last 5 or 6 Premier League games, West Ham has won only against Ipswich. And, Ipswich is a newly promoted team. So I wouldn't take too much into that. So I think it's definitely a winnable fixture for us. And how we are seeing them line up is the 4-1-4-1. You spoke about the fact that Lopetegui is known to be a defensive first manager who will ensure that the team is defensively set up, which is why I think it makes a lot of sense to sign somebody like a Wan-Bissaka if you're trying to play a 4-1-4-1, because your width will come from the wingers who is up front, and you are playing 2 camps in a way. In Souček and Paqueta at this point in time. You don't need your fullback to do a lot of, forward runs on the wing. You have your winger for that. Probably Wan-Bissaka or Emerson, who play their fullbacks, might be coming into mid sometimes whenever they need to get numbers in the midfield. But I think Wan-Bissaka is definitely a defensive first player as well. We have seen him play for us. So given that, the fact that they have been conceding so much XG is testament to the fact that they are not clicking together. Having conceded 15 goals, 15 plus XG in the 8 Premier League games so far, it's very clear we will have the chances in this game. It comes down to the fact that, and maybe we just keep repeating this fact, but we are also creating chances in decent numbers, big chances. Otherwise, the chances that we are creating, we are doing really well. So it will come down to the fact that how we are able to be clinical and finish those chances. And on the other end, their wingers, I think Jared Bowen is somebody who has been a relatively good player in the Premier League for 2-3 seasons now. He, I think a couple of years back, got into the England squad because of his form with West Ham as well. And he is almost there. I mean, he has not been peaking that much anymore, but he has been there, and he is the one who's going to play on the right wing. And if Mazarawi is to shift back at right back for us, and it's Dallo again at left back, we might see some of those issues that we had before the international break, where we were conceding a lot of chances from the right. Kudos, you mentioned, is not available for this one. He has been their most creative player. He has been their most attacking player. He, I think, has the highest XG for West Ham so far this season in the Premier League. So I think that is a big respite for United. And Antonio obviously has been a player who can bring in a moment of brilliance from nowhere. So I think our backline will need to be very solid and ensure that we are managing the wingers well, and the two camps that they play in Paqueta and Souček. And Souček can be very troublesome from some of the corners, some of the crosses that come in. Especially Emerson is also good with his crosses. So I think managing Souček, I think Bilic maybe somebody who will have to manage him with his height. Souček is a tall player. So Delict versus Souček / Paqueta also becomes a very important battle for us to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head on the point that the defensive physical battle we'll have to win, because West Ham again relies a lot on physical strikers. All their three strikers are quite physical strikers in Ings, Antonio, and Fulkrug. One place where I see United winning this game, and this is a place which I've been banging on for a long time, is the midfield. Their midfield isn't clicking. West Ham's midfield is not clicking at all. In fact, they are already talking about getting a new midfielder, a new defensive midfielder in January's window. They actually bought two new midfielders, Rodriguez and Alvarez, this summer, which is why, again, I was very bullish on them, because they actually got in good players. Like, Alvarez was started to go to Chelsea, but he actually made a move to West Ham. So yeah, their sporting director has come under a lot of fire for getting these players, but since the point that they are not clicking, midfield battle is one battle which we should be winning easy. I have a lot of faith in our attacking unit right now, as inconsistent as they are. I do feel that when Højlund, Garnacho and Rashford, all these three get enough minutes together, they will click and we will get those goals. And we have been seeing flashes from all three of them. So yeah, once we win this midfield battle, I feel as strong as their West Ham's defensive lineup is, we have in us to score at least 2 to 3 goals in this game.
Yeah, but that makes Bruno's role in the game on Sunday very, very important for us. He didn't play the game midweek because of the red card. So he is fully fresh for this one. And he should be raring to go to prove that he is getting back to the levels that the United fans know him for. And given their fragility in the West Ham squad with regard to their defensive and defensive midfield players, I think this is the game where Bruno can really sort of control the game, come on his own, and sort of impact the game in a way he does, get a couple of assists. So I hope that happens. Just before we get into the predicted lineups and the predicted score, is this an El Sacico? Potential loser of the game gets very close to a sack. Is that the situation we are seeing from a management standpoint for both the teams?
It's both Ten Hag and Lopetegui are in very similar positions that the management has doubled down on them. The director of West Ham, he was the one who was behind the Moyes sacking, actually. Moyes, there's a rumor around in West Ham that Moyes had disallowed this director to come to the dressing room and to a lot of facilities so they had quite a lot of friction, and that led to like Moyes sacking. And he interviewed a lot of candidates before, like while Moyes was in charge. So that's not very dissimilar from what our Ineos shareholders have done. So yes, I won't say, I'd still say both these managers will get the time at least till say the next international break or the next or Christmas period. The boards have doubled down on them and will try and keep the belief high in the fan base with them. And it is a matter of a couple of results. The draws we talking about just United, the draws we've had in this season, they were very close to being wins as well at some given point of time. And if had these draws, at least even if half of these draws were wins, we'd be in a much comfortable position in both Europa League as well as Premier League. But that being said, if these draws were losses, for example, if the Aston Villa was a loss, there's a good chance that Eric Ten Hag might have lost his job by now.
Yeah, especially for United, I don't know much about West Ham and the situation that they are in. But for Eric Ten Hag, the fact that after that international break, 6 hour meeting, and all of that, which resulted in nothing happening to Eric Ten Hag, but Sir Alex getting the sack. I don't particularly see that Eric Ten Hag's job is. It's not a situation where it's hanging by a thread or anything. I think the management is giving him time. Maybe they're giving him this season, and he himself keeps talking about we'll see at the end of May where we are and all of that. So maybe the management have given him this season to showcase, which is in a way a good change. It is a little bit of stability for the manager to try and experiment a few things and see, what is the best way, and try to think a little bit long term rather than, just thinking result on result. But hopefully we are past that phase where we are, chopping and changing and just seeing what clicks. Hopefully, with the kind of result that we had against Brentford, we are able to generate positive momentum from there, and we are able to kick on. So, coming to that, what about your predicted lineup and the score for this one?
I'm gonna go the predicted boring lineup this time. I think it'll be Onana at the back, our regular back four, no Lindelof. I'll have Mazurai, Dalo on the full back positions, Delit and Licha. It's a mixture of availability as well as form. Evans, we don't know if Evans is available for this one or not. Maguire, Lenny Yoro, Luke Shaw, and Malacia are definitely not available. Even though Malacia is training with the team, and Lenny Yoro also very happy to hear that he is also back on grass.
Yeah.
He's also, he's doing his individual training. So we might be able to see Lenny Yoro sometime, hopefully in November or something. But yeah, that's the back five I'm going with. Any changes do you think in this?
No, I think unless there are any issues with those five, I see all five of them starting. Evans, as good as he has been, I would want to revert to a Delict and Licha centre back partnership with proper fullbacks playing at the fullback position. Then on to the midfielders. Again, I think there is with limited availability and all, and seeing who are the players that were rested in the midweek game, I feel it will be Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno, the tried and tested trio for Eric Ten Hag, starting in the midfield. What do you think? Does Ugarte get a shoe in after his performance against Fenerbahce?
I think Ugarte might get ahead of Casemiro once again. He is the long-term solution. I feel since he is in some sort of momentum, I really hope that Eric Ten Hag doesn't break that momentum again. And we've had enough of number 10 experimentation, I believe. Back to Bruno, back to basics. And only problem I see with Kase, Eriksen and Bruno is Bruno has a free role. Kase and Eriksen, only Kase tracks back. Eriksen doesn't track back that much, and Ugarte gives us legs. Even if he keeps the game taking on with his short passes, I believe that will be a good enough midfield to dominate West Ham's midfield. I'm not taking anything less than a 60% possession. I'm very sucker for possession stats. I'm not taking anything less than 60% possession in this game. With the kind of game that West Ham is playing, we should be winning this one with that midfield.
So you would replace Casemiro with Ugarte in the lineup, I say.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And then I think the front three picks itself. It will be Rasmus, Garnacho, and Rashford.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I'd like Ahmad to get some minutes, I'd want those minutes to come from the bench itself. I think these three are in great form together. Garnacho especially, he's in great moment of form. Everything he's touching is creating, at the end of it, a chance is coming. So yeah, Garnacho, Rashford, and I don't know if you've noticed this or not, Rashford has been playing a free role across the attacking unit since the last two games. He's been drifting towards right. He's been drifting towards the number 10 area. So yeah, long may that way continue. That is a testament to the kind of confidence he is in. So yeah, these three confident attackers I'd have in my lineup.
Okay, and that brings us to the predicted score away game at West Ham. I would go for a 1-3 win for United.
Same, bro. I think we will concede one goal, but I'd like Onana to win the Golden Glove this year. I'll go for a 3-0 one this time.
Okay,
Yeah.
hopefully that comes true. And the three goal scorers for me, I think Bruno masterclass incoming this one. He gets a goal and 2 assists, and the assists are for Rashford and Rasmus Højlund. What about you?
I'd want Garnacho to continue doing great. I also say that because I have him in my SPN team. So yeah, a break from Garnacho and a goal of Højlund with assists from both Bruno and Rashford.
Yeah, FPL has been terrible last few weeks. I think 38 or something was the average score even this week. So I think it's been terrible overall for everybody. Yeah, I hope Haaland does something against Southampton. I've been captaining him again and again for the last few weeks, but getting nothing out.
Everyone has Haaland, man. When you should vary your differentials. You've always been a
Are it-
differential kind of guy.
Yeah, but the fact is, when it is a 15.4 million or whatever he costs in the FPL, that kind of a player in your team, and you're not captaining him, it seems weird. If you don't have him, it's a bigger worry. So I don't know. Yeah, but I think some of those differentials I'll try in the second half of the season.
I always think of FPL as a 84 million budget game because everyone has a Haaland and everyone is captaining Haaland. So yeah. By the way, I did bring in Dalo for this game. So yeah, 1 assist from Dalo, 2 points, and a clean sheet.
Yeah, I have, I think, 2 free transfers, and most likely one of them will be Saka out for Palmer, most likely. But yeah, let's see. I'll try. I would want to fit Salah in, but with Haaland, I think with Haaland and Trent in my team, it's difficult.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. All right, folks. This would be from us this week. Let's hope United build on to the momentum formed against Brentford and we get a convincing win, which keeps Eric Ten Hag in the job for a bit longer time than everyone wants to. Do give us your feedback. Do share the episode. Do like the episode. Do let us know how we can improve on all this.
And yes, as always, this is our perch. Let's knock him off. Until next time, stay united.